What is the one idea that could set you free from every limitation, break every invisible chain, and open the gates to your true abundance? It is this. You already have the power to grow rich because God lives in you. You are not empty. You are not lacking. You are not unworthy. You are a walking, breathing miracle of creation, given full access to infinite intelligence, yet most men never use even a fraction of this gift. Why? Because they have been conditioned to seek riches outside themselves instead of realizing that the source of all wealth lies within. Now, I want you to pause and reflect. You've been told to hustle, to grind, to sacrifice, and to struggle. But you were rarely told to go within. You were told to pray to a God above, but not to awaken the God within. And that is the cause of much failure. For what you fail to activate, you cannot attract. What you fail to recognize, you cannot release. The principle of Think and Grow Rich is not just about money, it is a spiritual law. It is the realization that what you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. And what you believe, you manifest. But if you think with fear, if you feel unworthy, and if you believe that God is distant, then your reality will reflect that spiritual confusion. That's why the first step to growing rich is not a financial move, it is a mental revolution. And that revolution begins when you accept that you are not separate from God. You are not a beggar waiting for blessings. You are a creator sent to manifest His vision on earth. The moment you see yourself as a divine partner, not a desperate servant, everything begins to change. You stop chasing riches and begin aligning with riches. You stop trying to prove your worth and begin expressing your value. You stop doubting your future and start creating it with precision. Do not mistake this for arrogance. This is divine responsibility. You were not put on this earth to simply survive and obey. You were sent here to build, to create, to inspire, and to thrive. And your success is not only possible, it is required, for it glorifies the infinite intelligence that gave you life. Now let's bring it down to the practical. If the God within you holds the key to all wealth, how do you unlock it? First, by belief. Not passive belief, not religious recitation, but active, aggressive, intentional belief. Belief that the desires in your heart are valid, sacred, and implanted by God Himself. If a dream was given to you, it is your duty to pursue it. It's not fantasy, it's instruction. But belief alone is not enough. You must also discipline your mind. You must filter your thoughts with care, because your thoughts are seeds. Each one takes root and produces fruit, either good or bad. The man who does not guard his thoughts will live in confusion. But the man who chooses thoughts of faith, power, wealth, and possibility, that man begins to manifest heaven on earth. Your inner world is the womb of your future. You cannot plant poverty in your thoughts and expect prosperity in your bank account. You cannot water fear every day and expect to grow in faith. You cannot complain about lack and attract abundance. This is why you must become the master of your mind. You must think rich long before you touch riches. You must speak wealth before you see wealth. You must walk with confidence before results show up. And if you're waiting to feel ready, let me remind you, readiness is a decision. Most men wait for a sign from the world, but the world is waiting for a sign from you. That sign is your decision to rise, to build, to no longer tolerate mediocrity in any form. And that decision must be followed by clarity. Clarity is the engine of creation. A vague goal produces vague results. A weak desire produces weak action. So I ask you, what exactly do you want? What number? What lifestyle? What impact? What legacy? Don't just feel it, define it, write it, declare it, own it. Because a man without a vision will perish, not from lack of effort, but from lack of focus. Once you are clear, begin to visualize. not as a childish fantasy, but as a spiritual discipline. See the life you were born to live. Picture it so vividly that your subconscious mind begins to accept it as reality. For when your subconscious accepts a truth, it sets forces in motion to bring it into form. You begin to act differently, speak differently, walk differently, and soon the world responds. This is how we think and grow rich with God, not apart from Him. Every step of your success journey is infused with divine intelligence. You are not doing this alone. You are being guided, protected, and elevated by a power that cannot fail. But you must stay connected. You must tune your mind like a radio to the frequency of success. If your thoughts are full of guilt, fear, or scarcity, you are tuned to the wrong signal. But if your thoughts are full of faith, purpose, and gratitude, you begin to resonate with the abundance that is your birthright. And yes, I said birthright. Wealth is not reserved for the few. It is reserved for the faithful. It is the natural outcome of a man who obeys the laws of the universe: thought, belief, decision, persistence, and generosity. When these are in place, wealth flows. Not always instantly, but inevitably. And what about obstacles? Will they disappear? No, but your relationship with them will change. The man who walks with God sees obstacles as feedback, not failure. He understands that resistance is a teacher. That delay is development. That rejection is redirection. He does not panic. He pivots. He does not quit. He recalibrates. Why? Because he knows his outcome is already secured. He is not guessing. He is trusting. Let me tell you the truth. The richest men are not those who earn the most. They are those who think the clearest. They are those who no longer tolerate fear in their vocabulary. They are those who start their days not with worry, but with alignment, prayer, affirmation, decision. And this alignment is not religious, it is strategic. You cannot produce divine results with a chaotic mind. You cannot create like God and think like a slave. You must elevate your standard. The way you wake up, the way you speak, the way you walk into a room, all of it must be a declaration of the man you've decided to be. And what man is that? He is focused. He is intentional. He is faithful. He is generous. He is disciplined. He is connected. He is bold. He is powerful. He is a man who thinks and grows rich with the God in him, not just for his own sake, but to bless everyone assigned to his influence. Do you understand that your success is not just about you? It's about everyone who will be inspired, employed, elevated, and awakened because you said yes to your calling. There are lives attached to your discipline. There are breakthroughs connected to your obedience. There is legacy linked to your willingness to believe in what God has placed inside of you. So no, this is not about ego. This is about responsibility. This is about stewardship. And the first thing you must steward is your own mind. That is the birthplace of every miracle. You are no longer allowed to think small. You are no longer permitted to hide your gift. You are no longer available for the lies of limitation. From this moment forward, you are a vessel of wealth, wisdom, and world-changing impact. And that vessel is guided by divine intelligence every step of the way. Your thoughts are no longer random, they are reconstructed. Your actions are no longer reactive, they are intentional. Your emotions are no longer unstable, they are anchored in faith. This is the new version of you, the real version, the original blueprint that God had in mind before fear and failure entered the picture. And this version is unstoppable. So start today. Start now. Get clear. Think boldly. Write your vision. Declare your identity. Affirm your success. Visualize your outcome. Take daily action. Give without fear. Receive without guilt. Move with grace. Speak with fire. Now that you have declared who you are and stepped into alignment with the infinite, you must now continue forward, not with hesitation, but with full momentum. Momentum is the invisible force that rewards consistent action. And when that action is guided by divine clarity, it becomes nearly unstoppable. I have long taught that definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement, and that principle remains true today. The man who moves with clarity backed by the God within him becomes a force the world cannot ignore. Let me ask you, what is your definite major purpose? Can you define it in one sentence? Can you feel it in your bones? Can you speak it aloud with conviction? Because if you cannot, you are not building, you are wandering. A man without purpose is a man drifting on the tides of other people's agendas. But the man with a definite purpose, inspired by divine desire, becomes a creator in a world full of consumers. And your purpose, your true God-given purpose, will never be something small, selfish, or shallow. It will be deep, rooted in service, expansion, and impact. It will demand growth. It will demand courage. But it will also unlock favor, insight, and energy you didn't know you had. The moment you commit to your purpose, heaven responds. You may ask, how do I know it's the right purpose? And I will tell you, your true purpose is that which won't let you go. It calls you in quiet hours. It awakens you in the middle of the night. It stirs your soul when you see others suffering. It's not chosen, it's revealed. And once revealed, it must be honored with strategy and structure. Write it down. Build a plan. Break it into actions. Refuse to let another day pass where you live on accident. The God in you is organized. He is precise. He is a builder, and you, made in His image, must also build. The difference between wishing and winning is strategy. And understand, strategy is not complicated. It is simply a series of intelligent, consistent actions taken toward a divine objective. You don't need to do everything at once. You need to know what to do now, and then do it well. You must focus your energy like a laser, not a flashlight. Because scattered effort leads to scattered results, but focused faith produces exponential return. Now I must speak to you about another sacred principle, decision. The man who is indecisive is double-minded, and the Scripture teaches that such a man is unstable in all his ways. Wealth does not come to the confused. Success does not belong to the hesitant. Power does not dwell in the heart of the unsure. You must become a man who decides quickly and changes slowly. Why? Because decision is the mechanism through which you demonstrate faith. Every time you make a clear decision, you say to the universe, I know who I am. I know what I want. And I trust that what I need will be revealed to me as I go. That kind of man is rare, and that kind of man is rich. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for full understanding. Don't wait for everyone to agree. Make the decision that honors your highest self, and then act like it's already done. When you commit fully, the details will follow. And once you've decided, you must protect that decision with persistence. Persistence is not stubbornness. Persistence is spiritual loyalty to your vision. It is the quiet refusal to surrender your divine right to a mediocre life. The world will test you. It will push back. But the man who persists, backed by purpose, reinforced by prayer, and driven by faith, cannot be defeated. Because he does not rely on external motivation, he draws power from within, and that's where the God in you becomes your advantage. While others grow weary, you tap into endless supply. While others quit at the first sign of difficulty, you remember that pressure is a sign of promotion. That opposition is proof that you are advancing. That delays are not denials, they are divine refinements. You must learn to love the process, to bless the friction, to see every setback as sacred, because all things are working for your good, all things, even the pain, even the silence, even the seasons when it seems like nothing is working. That's when the real work is happening. That's when you are being prepared for a level of success you prayed for but did not yet have the strength to hold. And that preparation takes time. But time is not your enemy. Time is your ally when you walk with God. He is not rushed. He is not confused. He is building you into a man who can build empires, not just chase paychecks. He is forging character, not just creating comfort. And if you trust that process, your reward will be far greater than you imagined. Now, I must speak to your relationship with money because most men have inherited beliefs that block their blessing. Money is not evil. Money is not dirty. Money is not ungodly. Money is a tool, a servant, a multiplier. In the hands of a wise man, money feeds families, funds visions, heals communities, and creates legacies. So why are you afraid to claim it? Why do you hesitate to ask for it, earn it, receive it, and manage it with confidence? Because somewhere along the way you were taught that money and morality are at odds, that to want more is to be greedy, that to be rich is to be corrupt. But I say this to you now, the greatest lie ever told to keep men poor is that wealth is unrighteous. The truth is this, when a righteous man becomes rich, the world gets better because his wealth flows through clean hands. It funds solutions. It honors excellence. It inspires others to believe that they too can rise. So from now on, you must see money not as a goal, but as a result. A result of value creation. A result of impact. A result of alignment with spiritual law. And the more value you create, the more money will find you without strain, without shame, and without apology. And what is the most powerful way to create value? By solving problems. The man who solves problems is the man who earns wealth. That's why you must train your mind to see solutions, not just obstacles. Every challenge you face is a doorway to creativity. And creativity is divine currency. You are a problem solver. You are a leader. You are a thinker. You're not here to work for money. You are here to design systems, to build businesses, to invent, to write, to speak, to coach, to lead. Whatever your calling is, know this. The more you grow, the more you earn. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you trust the God in you, the more life will trust you with opportunity. And I will tell you one more thing. Your environment matters. The voices you listen to, the people you spend time with, the places you frequent, these things form your atmosphere. And atmosphere affects growth. You cannot grow rich in a toxic environment. You cannot grow rich listening to fear, gossip, laziness, and doubt. You must build an atmosphere of belief in your home, in your mind, in your conversations. Surround yourself with people who speak life. Read books that stretch your mind. Watch teachings that awaken your spirit. Protect your gates, what you hear, what you see, and what you entertain. Because your input becomes your inner world, and your inner world becomes your outer results. And if there's no one around you who believes at the level you do, then be the first. Start the movement. Be the light. Be the proof that one man connected to God can change everything. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not stuck. You are simply being called to a higher frequency. And the invitation is clear. Rise up. Think higher. Live richer. Give greater. Decide faster. Move boldly. Because when the man aligns his thought with divine truth, the entire universe moves to reward him. You don't have to wait for anyone's permission. You don't need the applause. You don't need the spotlight. You need only one thing. To believe that the God who made you is the same God living in you. And through that connection, all things are possible. Now write your vision again, but this time make it bigger. Set your goals again, but this time make them bolder. Speak your truth again, but this time make it louder. and act on your plan again, but this time with no hesitation. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs you fully activated, fully aligned, and fully alive. And that version of you, he is coming. He is ready. He is already here. Now we arrive at the place where few ever do, not because they lack potential, but because they lack endurance. You see, it is not intelligence or talent or even opportunity that separates the wealthy man from the average man. It is spiritual stamina. The decision to stay the course, even when it's hard, to walk in faith, even when the evidence is thin, to believe in the unseen while building in the physical. And this stamina doesn't come from your willpower alone. It comes from your alignment with God. A man who is deeply connected to the divine does not need constant motivation. He has revelation. He does not crumble at delay. He understands that all things work together, not just the good things, but the setbacks, the silence, the waiting. Because everything that feels like resistance is often refinement. And refinement makes room for real wealth. The kind of wealth that doesn't flee in a crisis. The kind of wealth that can't be stolen by inflation. The kind of wealth that outlasts your own lifetime. Because the richest men in the world are not remembered for how much they earned, but for how much they built. For how deeply they impacted, and for how much they served. So if you desire to grow truly rich, with the God in you guiding every move, then you must be more than a moneymaker. You must be a builder of people, a builder of vision, a builder of systems, principles, values, and legacies. This requires integrity. It requires maturity. It requires that you step out of small thinking and into stewardship. You must begin to see yourself not just as a man who earns, but as a man who multiplies. A man who manages. A man who transforms every room he enters because he carries within him the unmistakable presence of divine intelligence. And that presence, when fully activated, becomes your greatest asset. When you walk into a room, you are not alone. When you pitch your idea, you are not speaking alone. When you make a decision, you are not choosing alone. You are being guided, moment by moment, by a voice that is quiet but never wrong. And that voice is not found in noise, it is found in stillness. So you must guard your peace. Turn off the distractions. Close the tabs. Silence the world. And get alone with the one who gave you the vision in the first place. Because the more successful you become, the more tempting it will be to rely on your own strength. But man was never meant to live by strength alone. He was meant to live by spiritual power, and that power is renewed in solitude, not applause. So return to your source often, keep your ear tuned to his direction, and never forget, all the riches in the world cannot replace a single moment of divine instruction. You now understand what most men never will, that riches are not something you chase, they are something you become. You become rich internally first, through thoughts of confidence, peace, vision, and purpose. Then you express that richness through action, faith-filled, bold, strategic action. And here's the beauty of it. Once you become that man, no one can take it from you. You could lose the business, and you'd rebuild it. You could lose the deal, and you'd find a better one. Because the source of your wealth is not in the bank, it is in your mind, your spirit, your heart, your habits. That is what we mean by think and grow rich with the God in you. It is not about luck. It is about law. And the laws of the universe always respond to the man who is in right relationship with himself and his Creator. Now let's talk about the practical side of mastery. What must you do daily to remain in this frequency of abundance? You must begin your day with intention. Before the world has a chance to shape you, you must shape yourself. Through prayer, through meditation, through gratitude, through writing your goals, through visualizing your results, through declaring who you are. I am rich because I am one with the source of all wealth. I am calm because I trust in divine timing. I am bold because I was made in the image of greatness. These are not just affirmations, they are activations. They activate your highest self, your most confident self, your wealthiest self. Then you must follow those declarations with focused action. Create the content. Make the call. Send the offer. Build the system. Improve the product. Study your craft. Mentor someone else. And above all, do what you said you would do. Because nothing attracts wealth faster than integrity in motion. When God sees a man who is faithful over little, he trusts him with much. The man who honors his word even when no one is watching becomes a man of influence. The man who keeps showing up when it's not easy becomes a magnet for divine favor. That favor is not random. It is earned, not through effort alone, but through alignment. Now I will speak to your fears. What if I fail? What if I look foolish? What if I lose everything? And I will say to you, those are the voices of a lower version of yourself. That man is already dead. The man you are becoming does not ask, what if I fail? He asks, what if I fly? He asks, what if my obedience unlocks the future of generations? He asks, what if I am the one who changes everything? And then he moves, not in fear, but in faith. This is how you win in silence. This is how you build in the shadows before the spotlight comes. This is how you become so grounded in who you are that success no longer surprises you. It simply confirms what you already believed. And when the riches arrive, and they will, you will not be shaken. Because your joy did not come from the result. It came from the revelation. The revelation that you are not alone, that you are not small, that you are not disqualified, you are chosen, you are connected, you are favored, and everything you need is already inside of you, waiting to be claimed through clarity, courage, and commitment. This is the millionaire mindset powered by the divine. This is the secret behind the world's most impactful leaders. This is the difference between men who work hard for money and men who attract wealth while changing lives. One is hustling. The other is aligned. One is grinding. The other is glowing. One is searching for answers. The other has become a channel through which the answers flow. So which one will you be? Will you keep thinking like a man separated from God? Or will you finally accept the truth that the same force that created galaxies lives in you, speaks through you, and works through you? When you accept that truth, you won't need to chase money. Money will chase you, because money is not moved by effort alone. It is moved by energy, the energy of purpose, the energy of boldness, the energy of generosity, the energy of divine obedience. And that energy is now yours if you choose to live at this higher level. So write the book. Start the business. Take the risk. Build the brand. Raise your standard. Speak the vision. Bless the world. And don't look back. You are not the man you used to be. You are not who they said you were. You are becoming exactly who God designed you to be. Powerful, clear, prosperous, and fully aligned with purpose. The world will soon know your name. Not because you shouted, but because you stood. Not because you begged, but because you believed. Not because you copied others, but because you trusted the voice within. That voice will never leave you. It will never fail you. It is the God in you. And when you think with Him, walk with Him, build with Him, you will grow rich in ways that no one can measure. Rich in finances, rich in favor, rich in fulfillment, rich in peace, rich in legacy. And all because you finally understood the secret was never outside of you. It was always within.